Dave brought me a load of beers and I never got around to drinking them, so I thought I'd give it a go.
Fair enough.
I've been in my fridge for 2 weeks. COVID knocked me out and I didn't want to waste the flavours.
Okay, here we go. Let's just do one more thing. Right, okay, cool. Right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We have returned. It's that night of the week, that special night of for some people of the year. That night you'll never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Boris and Bossk, the soon-to-be world's greatest podcast. I'm joined tonight by my fellow bounty hunters, the biggest Davis and the amazing Mike, the magic Mike.
No.
Thank you for the week's stories, news, and reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Boys from Bossk. Hey, gentlemen, how are you, man? You all right?
You have your jingle. I was
Stunning
quite
welcome.
surprised at that.
What's that?
No.
Well, I was told somebody didn't like that. But no, we're back. It's been a pretty quiet week, though. It really has been a quiet week. I know I always worry there won't be enough stories, but we've always got enough talk. But this week it actually has been really, really quiet. Hardly any stories have dropped, but the stories that have dropped have still been pretty good. I have to say.
Everyone's waiting for Super Bowl weekend
Oh, yeah.
Which is
to
next
drop all the
week,
trailers.
the
That'd be
day
this
before
Sunday, wouldn't it?
Valentine's Day. Yeah, when lots of relationships will end. You're about to take me out. It's Super Bowl, babe. But I'm sure, some relationships might make it through. We don't know. Those crazy Super Bowl fans. Will you guys be watching the Super Bowl? You're going to be staying up until God knows when?
This year, I will.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 Well,
Okay.
But neither team have ever won it, so this is the first.
Yeah.
I think
So-
no, I can't.
Might stay
No,
to the end.
I could stay up because I'm off on the Monday. So.
And I do want to see the halftime show with Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. I think that might
Because
be.
they do
yeah.
show that over here, don't they?
Yeah. You just don't get the adverts, but you just watch them the next day. Just watch the good ones the next day.
I think they drop on YouTube at the same time as well. I think if my memory serves me right.
Especially if it's Doritos.
So it should be a pretty exciting weekend. I don't know. Do we know who's in the final yet?
Yeah, it's Los Angeles Rams and the Bengals.
Okay. I got overly excited when I thought the Bengals were the team that's owned by the Fulham Football Club owner, but it's not.
No, that's the Jaguars.
Yeah, which is officially the worst team in the NFL, apparently.
Well, that's
But
the
the
one.
Rams is owned by the Arsenal chairman. So
That's the
if
one
they
they
win
want-
it, hopefully
yeah.
they'll give us some money for our club.
They want to bring the Jaguars over, don't they?
Yeah.
They want that to be the London franchise.
Yeah. Then London, when London becomes a first state.
But then
It's
he
the
owns
second
Fulham, but the Tottenham have the franchise thing, don't they? So it's a bit
Yeah.
weird how they work that
The
out.
stadium is cool though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just no one will go there.
welcome
Anyway,
to
no,
welcome to,
back
welcome to the
this
American
week's
football.
show, guys.
Yeah.
I know you've been
Welcome to the American football
show.
show.
We will do a sports show one day. So it's been a fantastically strange week. There's been a few trailers that have dropped. One of my favorite shows, but because it's funny and not because it's an alternative to Star Trek, the Orville season 3 has been delayed, but they put out a really amazing trailer for it. Did any of you manage to watch that?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that trailer come up.
If you get a chance, when you get a chance, watch it. It's just this continuous clip of one of the Doctor's kids running around a ship as there's a battle going on. And I don't know if Disney, I know it's on Hulu, but I know it's a Disney property, this show. And it's going to be really interesting if they're going to change the tone of it, because a lot of fans love it because it's sort of like a version of Star Trek. But I said it takes a piss out of Star Trek. But I think they may be going for a more serious.
I felt like that at the end of the
season.
last series. It got a bit serious, didn't it? It didn't have as much of a tongue-in-cheek feel to it.
I think that would be really, really good. Just so those old school, those next generation Star Trek fans have something to hold on to, because they hate all other Star Trek so much. Like I found out how much. Like when I say they hate Discovery, right? Discovery got rated. Its last season got a rating of 95% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Fans gave it something like 35%.
Well, remember, we don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes.
I know,
Yeah.
but
They gave Cobra Kai 100. Come on.
They gave what?
Cobra Kai 100%.
I know.
And The Mandalorian only 87. Come on.
I know. Look, I keep saying this. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai, right, the first season's great because it's great nostalgia. But by the time what are we up to now, the 5th season? Like it turns into like Sunset Boulevard in terms of script writing, and I'm like, have they stopped taking this seriously? But then I remember the original film's Karate Kid. How serious can you get with Karate Kid? But it's the #1 show in the world. That's how big it is. All those 80s kids who are now dads, get to introduce their kids to who love it. But I'm well off of Cobra Kai, over it. But yeah, the Orville that will return. Its season is delayed, but it will no doubt be coming to Disney Plus in the UK and Hulu in the States. And I assume it'll come out in autumn, but it looks more serious. The tone looks amazing, and like I said, it's one of my favorite sci-fis. And I hope it gives the next generation fans something to hold on to, so they can go into a corner and enjoy that, and let all the new Star Trek stuff roll out. Because I think also they dropped a poster this week for different Strange New Worlds, and they announced Uhura will be in part of the crew as a cadet in that new series. But I don't think we're getting in the UK anytime soon because Paramount Plus is still to launch in the UK. But we shall see. Now, what is the show? What's the Disney Plus show that you are almost looking forward to? Let me go first, Mike. What's the Disney Plus show that you're looking forward to the most this year?
Probably
At least the
Obi-Wan.
Star Wars show you're looking forward to the most.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Big Dave, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not a trick question.
No, because I'm actually confused about Andor. I think it could be good.
Okay, well,
there is Obi-Wan, there's Andor. There's no expectation of it. It's just literally a guy that was in Rogue One has now got his background story.
Well,
that's like, yeah.
There was a comic about it, but I never brought it.
Well, I've got good news for both of you. First of all, Obi-Wan.
May.
The rumor is May the 4th, baby. May the 4th, you're getting Obi-Wan episode 1 at least. Okay. But
is it a Wednesday?
Huh?
Is it a Wednesday?
Well, it should be. I think May the 4th. Because
you know they only drop on Wednesday.
No, I think it is actually on Wednesday this year, but don't quote me on that. But also, what you're going to get is the 2nd season of Andor. It's already been commissioned before the first series has been released. No.
Did you actually read the story this time?
No, but it's
because it could be a comic, Curtis. It could be a comic.
Well, it's getting a 2nd season. It's not a comic. But I thought you'd be happy.
Yeah. It could be really bad.
Oh my god, you've got Star Wars burnout already. I'm
no, because what you know it's going to be. It's going to be him, and it's going to be the robot.
Well, yeah, the story of how he meets the robot.
Yeah. No, he met the robot in Rogue One.
Well, no, the story's set. It's set pre-Rebels era, pre-Rebellion era. So there's quite a few good stories still left in there. You could cross over with
No, because Rogue One was during the Rebels era.
Well,
that's why the ghost and everything was inside in Rogue One.
Right, nerd. No, I just meant that he could cross with what's his name, old Sith Lord Darth Maul. You know, there's a lot.
Darth Maul is dead.
What?
Yeah, but not in that period, is he?
Yeah, not in that period. He's
still around in that period.
No, he's not dead till
he crosses
Rebels when he fights Obi-Wan in the desert.
Yeah.
So I reckon.
So that would be just before Luke Luke was a child then, wasn't he?
Just before New Hope,
Yeah.
basically.
I still
just
say it was
before
the
Rogue One,
worst,
basically,
worst death scene ever. Considering he got his whole body cut in half in bloody the movie, and then he just gets a little graze down the chest, and he's dead.
No, he got the samurai slash from Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but he didn't cut in half, did he? He just had a little gash down his chest.
Well, you couldn't do that in a kid show, could you? It was a kid, bruv. It was a kid show. What do you want?
Mate, some of the other kills were good on that show.
The fight between Darth Vader and Ahsoka was badass. So
yeah,
that was really, really cool. Okay, moving on. Let's see if I get you boys excited.
It was
Captain
a kid's show, but these 30, 40-year-old men were watching it.
I think Captain Carter's going to get her own show because they've already announced the Captain Carter comic book, which they put the trailer out for. But I think of all the characters that needs a show, Agent Carter didn't work as a show. It only lasted 10
I think it did. I think it just got dropped because they didn't like it.
I don't think it was very good. The trailer they did for it was really, really good. But then the actual show, I think it was all right. But
I actually enjoyed it.
I don't know, but come on, budget.
I enjoyed it more than Shield, and they kept on pumping that out.
True. How Shield ended up lasting 9 seasons? 9 seasons, and Agent Carter got cut after like 1 season. I'm like, that's interesting. But I think you might see Captain Carter make a return.
2 seconds.
Would you want to watch that one, Dave? Is that something that, Captain Carter and her amazing shield?
So what do you think? Well, is it going to be like a multiverse? Is it going to be a different universe,
the
fighting Shield and all that?
Yeah, the big rumor is that she's going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
It makes sense.
So there's no reason why she can't.
I think if they do it, it should be a cartoon.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I think Hayley Atwell's getting on a bit to be that physical.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Alexa,
but she's not in like the best shape, is she? To like be like jumping around and flipping and throwing shields and.
How is located 8 miles?
I don't know. I think she'd be all right. I mean, I don't want to hold it against her, but I think she could probably still hold it up together.
She's in her 40s. I think she just hit her 40s, hasn't she? So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, all right. Fair enough. Right. Okay. In other news, I don't know about you boys, right? But there was one show that never got the kudos points it deserved. There was one show, sci-fi show, which had an absolutely amazing actress, which had an amazing cast, but just never got all the kudos points it deserved. Orphan Black. Did any of you get to watch that show?
Watched about an episode.
Orphan Black.
Terrible.
Orphan Black. No? All right, it's on Netflix. If you can watch it, catch it.
Is this like The Expanse? So we just push delete every time we hear you talk about it.
If I could jump through the screen, I would jump through the screen right now. I think it's a really, really good show. It lasted for about 6 seasons, I think. It was on late night on BBC Two, I think.
It's not on Netflix.
It is on Netflix now, so if you can go and get it on Netflix. But they've just announced that they're doing a new series. It's meant to be a sequel to the original series, but it's with a different character. But Tatiana Maslany, who's now going to be She-Hulk, was the lead character originally in that. And she's fantastic because she had to play about 10 different characters. So like 5 in an episode at one go. So she was absolutely brilliant. It's about a woman who ends up being cloned and the conspiracy behind her finding out why she was cloned and meeting all the clones. And it was a brilliant show. I really, look, you don't have to take my word
Will
for
Smith
it.
and Gemini Man, yeah? Okay, cool.
No. It actually had a script.
Seen it.
And a plot. I'm going to defend this show to the hilt. Do not expanse this show, all right? This Orphan Black is absolutely brilliant. And it's one of the reasons why she got hired to be She-Hulk. So give it a shot. The AMC have announced a series. They said it's not a reboot. It's being made by AMC. I think it will still be in co-production with BBC America as well.
Isn't she busy doing She-Hulk though?
Yeah. Oh, no, she won't be in it. At least she won't be the lead character.
Oh, okay.
Lead character in there. And that is going to be on out next year at some point. So yeah, I'm thinking give it a shot, man.
Yeah, I mean, I might give it another go. It never captured my imagination.
Show it some love.
Okay.
Show it some love. All right. We're the boys from Bossk. All right. We're not horrible nerds here. We give everything a go, right?
Sorry, just because I don't want to give another show a go. There's so many shows out. You can't watch them all.
I know. Look, I forgive you, but give this one.
I'm not asking for you to forgive this, mate.
There's shows and there's courtesy shows.
Why are you two ganging up on me like this?
We're not. It's just,
I thought there was some love.
You know, this is why we cover everything, because you watch the crap.
Yeah. So we don't have to.
Yeah.
Right. So Batman is tracking to show the potential for the largest Bat movie ever.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, and the more that I've seen of it, the more exciting and the more.
I'm not watching any more trailers, man.
I ain't watching any trailers.
Yeah,
I watched the first one, and that was 2 months ago. I haven't watched anything since. I don't want to.
You missed out on some good trailers. Then.
No, I haven't missed out on anything, because when the
it's
film
gonna
comes on, I'll go,
whoa! I hope the film delivers. It looks really, really good. I think it's tracking for a massive opening. I think 150 million opening. I think it'll probably make more money than people even guessing or thinking it might make. I think it's going to make big money. The Joker, I don't know if it's included the Joker in that one, but the Joker made $1 billion in worldwide without even opening in China. And I know Spider-Man's on track for just under 2 billion outside
That's
of China.
So much money.
So
Jesus
I think Batman might actually do it because it's ever such a popular character.
All the fat cinema prices are now 20 quid.
Well, yeah, that might also have an effect on it. Well, not my cinema, it's like $7.99, $6.99. Yeah.
Before 5 o'clock.
No, all day. It's $6.99 all day. They don't charge more than that. I think this may be the film to get people back into the cinemas en masse as well on a regular basis. Spider-Man, they managed to get him into cinema for Spider-Man, but nobody wanted to stay for anything else. So it'll be interesting to see.
But there hasn't been much else, really.
Well, everything else has been bad.
Matrix blew up really badly. Doom,
Matrix, they should have just left alone. They should have just left Matrix alone, really.
Yeah, but Doom came out at the wrong time where everything was spiking with the Omicron. So
yeah.
But we'll see. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Are you guys? Should we all go to cinema together and watch this one? Or
I'm not going when it's busy because honestly, people are numbnuts. So yeah, you gotta go.
Lunchtime showing then.
Yep, 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Yes, please.
Yeah. We could do a 10 o'clock Tuesday visit. I like 10 o'clock Tuesday visits. I might actually go tomorrow. It's ready to get out.
We'll see.
I went to see Suicide Squad, and there was people behind me making gin and tonics with actual glasses. like they were clinking the glasses, and I was like, I'm the glass to them in a minute. Like, quite honestly, no. Ugh.
Fair enough.
I was not impressed.
I don't think I've ever had a beer in the cinema. Maybe I've done it once.
No, I just, especially with if a film.
I'm too busy stuffing my face, so
I don't like drinking because you've got to go for a wee, ain't you?
Yeah,
that's right.
If it's a 90-minute film, yes, I don't care. But these days, with films being 3 hours, there's no way I'm drinking a beer.
The best time I went to the cinema was in Portugal, and I went and saw The Expendables when that first came out, and they have an intermission at the break, so it means you could have 2 beers, have a wee for 20 minutes, and then go back and watch the second half of the film.
Well, that makes us think.
We should have that in this country. As films are getting longer as well.
Intervals back. They used to have intervals during films. I remember they had an interval during. What was it back in the day? I think a Bond film I was watching at the time, and there were intervals during the film. I think they need to bring them back, especially if films going.
They're getting longer now, aren't they? If Batman's 3 hours, hour and a half in, cool. have pee break, and also
And
the
then that makes
cinemas
you want to
will,
go and watch it again, doesn't it?
but the cinemas will make more money as well
Yeah.
because people will get more snacks and stuff, won't they?
Yeah,
That's right.
it's like theaters. Theaters make a hell of a lot of money during
Yeah.
the interval, charging people ridiculous amounts of money for
interval drinks. Yeah,
Maybe we should
So I'm
get a
really-
petition going, bring back the interval.
Yeah.
we should do
we'll,
it.
we'll start a campaign. Yeah, because nothing worse than having to go to the toilet and missing something or thinking you missed something, and having to watch the film again and realizing you missed right. So what else is there? One TV show that isn't making it back to the land.
Neighbours, apparently.
Well, yeah, but that's not a bad thing. One show that isn't making it back that was in pre-production was Boondocks, which I don't know if you guys watched it. Boondocks.
Oh, was that with the guy from Walking Dead, Norman Reedus?
Was Norman Reedus in it?
Samuel L. Jackson, wasn't it?
Well, Samuel was in
Boondocks.
it, yeah, and a few.
Who am I
others. It was
thinking?
What am I
Black
thinking
and
of?
South.
Oh, I'm
Oh
thinking
no,
of something
you're
else.
thinking Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah, Boondocks.
Yeah,
Saints,
no, that was a different thing.
That was a film, I think.
that was a film.
there's
Yeah,
two films.
Yeah.
Boondocks was like the black version of South Park, or like it was a cross between South Park and
Samurai something.
Afro
it was just
Samurai.
it was
Yeah.
really dark humor, really controversial.
The only thing good about it was Samuel L. Jackson being the granddad.
No, it was great. Especially there was the episode where they took the piss out of R. Kelly. And remember the case where he got done for peeing on a schoolgirl.
Oh yeah.
And it was just this mad episode where they just rinsed R. Kelly. It was like, what is wrong with you people? You know, fair enough. Whatever this girl wanted, that's one thing. But R. Kelly should not be near kids. And this was when, like, nobody sued them for it, but it was like they do episodes like that. And it was just a very, very savage show. It introduced me to the one episode. Do you know there was a guy to Catch a Predator in the States, that TV show?
Chris
You want
Hansen.
the easy way or the hard way?
They had a character called the Booty Warrior, and they actually had him in the Boondocks. And I had no idea who the Booty Warrior was. I didn't find out until years later. But he had this saying. It was like they interviewed him in the show, and they're like, "Well, what did you used to do?" "Oh, I used to rape." He just raped everybody in prison. He was the guy in prison that prisoners would have nightmares about, because he'd go up to new prisoners and they'd be like, "Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?" And he wasn't joking.
And he was just like a tall, skinny man.
Yeah,
Like, what?
but he was notorious for it, and so they had him in like it was a really controversial show. It got cancelled years ago. And Sony were working on a revival. Samuel was in it, and it had quite a meaty cast. But unfortunately, it's now being pulled and will not be joining us. I hope somebody else picks it up, because I do think the Boondocks was really, really good at the time, as controversial as it was. But yeah, that's gone. That's left us. But unfortunately, a series that is going to be making it, and I did like the sound of this originally, but once they said Gotham Knights and CW, I was like, no, there's a new DC series in the works at the CW called Gotham Knights, which is going to be based on, from what the story sounds really convoluted, but apparently the son of Batman teams up
And
with
all the
lots of,
teams up with the villains, doesn't he?
yeah, teams up with the children of the villains to
He
take back
does?
Gotham.
Batman's son.
Oh. Is it Damian Wayne or someone else?
Say. They're not.
This could be
clear
another
on
Star
this.
Girl, isn't it? Come on, let's face it.
I don't know. I don't see what the point of the Gotham Knight show is with Titans.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make any real sense to me. And also, the I don't know. It just shows a weakness in the CW of relying on Batman tropes. The Arrow was pretty much Batman for the first 4 seasons, without Batman in it. So I don't know where this one's going, but there you go. That's happening.
They need something now. Everything's cancelled, don't they? So.
Well, yeah, the Flash is coming to an end, or at least the lead character's going to burn out. So it'll be interesting to see where that show goes. But yeah, anybody excited about that? Gotham Knights? Does it fill you with excitement?
I think we might have
No.
lost Mike. Oh no, he's there.
No, not excited.
Okay, let's see.
I'll wait till I see it on TV and then we go from there.
The CW is just dead. Just kill it. Just put it down.
Put it
Like
to
a horse.
death.
It's a lame horse, man. You know what I mean?
As always, as I've said before, the CW is for very young kids and families. It suits that purpose. You know, don't take it away from that. Don't try and make it.
No, look, I'm just saying, like, I enjoyed it when it. But the thing is, though, these shows don't have a long shelf life.
No,
they haven't got like the 20 season legacy. They've got 4 or 5.
They can,
but do you know what I mean? They've got 4. Like the Flash. I enjoyed the Flash when it started. I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was a good story. You know, like everything worked. It was good. Arrow, I enjoyed when it first started. You know, because it was kind of fresh. I never got into Legends of Tomorrow.
You failed the city.
Well, Legends of Tomorrow is just all the rejects from the Flash, wasn't it?
yeah. Arrow.
You're no good in Arrow. You're no good in Flash. You're no good in Supergirl. Just get into this show.
Yeah, exactly. And the crossover episodes were cool. I must admit, like that one, the one where they had Brendan Roth come back as Superman. But I think it feels very, like you're right. It feels very kiddie like, but in the sense of even kids know what stuff is nowadays, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be a bit more, I don't know, fresh with your ideas. Like even Stargirl was interesting because it was all legacy and stuff. I enjoyed that first season.
The first season was really well written as well.
The first season was good, but the
second
season
it felt a lot more adult in the way they were telling the story. But then it fell into those old CW tropes already with the, shall I tell them, I fancy them, oh, my emotions, I don't know if I can handle them, and that sort of bollocks. And once you fall into that, you're doomed.
It might have been the writers from Riverdale, that's why, and then it just crossed over.
Just don't, once you start doing that, it stops being interesting to a more adult audience. And I don't know why all these shows do it, whether it's Supergirl, whether it's Arrow. And like I said, I've found moments when I used to enjoy those shows. But I think if you're going to do that's sort of close to being a kid show type of entertainment, then fine. But you can't expect people to keep watching it once they grow up. Do you know what I mean? They're going to leave it behind. They're going to move on, especially with so much other good stuff out there. And it's how I feel about that. And even Titans, you know, I thought that Netflix's Marvel stuff set the standard. Do you know what I mean? Daredevil and all the rest of them said you could tell decent stories.
Yeah.
Without going into those old tropes. And even Titans has fallen back into it already. And it's like, I don't know. It feels like I'm watching 80s TV again. It really does. It's like it's taking me back. Cobra Kai, Teen Titans, all of that. It's just 80s TV storytelling.
Teen Titans got a bit weird, you know, when they're in the sort of what do you call it? They were in purgatory or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, this feels very sort of supernatural. You know, like it's like an episode of Supernatural.
Yeah.
And
I haven't actually finished this season. Titans.
I think it's good, but
the first 2 seasons I knocked out straight away, and I thought, really good. And this last one, I'm struggling to watch.
Yeah,
it sets out really well for season 3. But
I think I'm on like episode 9 or 10, but I'm
season 3 could be anything really now, can't it?
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to happen. I think they've done that on purpose.
Yeah,
it's like we've got a clean slate now. We can do what we want with what's going ahead. You know.
They've left the bollocks behind, so there's no Titans Tower, there's no Gotham. We're mobile, we're out, we're going to go and do stuff. And I hope they do something with that, because they took a lot of risks on that show. They did a lot of recasting. They did made a few key changes to a few key characters, and they weakened Batman, which I think
never happens, does it?
Yeah. So for them to do that, they took a lot of decent risks with it. But again, it just fell out. It sort of became really like, oh, stop with these tropes. You're doing so well. Just stop. And Stargirl's the most guilty of that. My God, they had a really good run in the first season, and then all of a sudden it just became really like it lost its way. But hopefully season 3, I think Stargirl's got season 3 Titus is in season 3, and hopefully
That's
we'll get
season
better.
4.
It's Titus season. Is it season 4?
Season 4 now, yeah.
Okay, so
season 4, I think. No?
Yeah, season 3
I,
finished, didn't it?
I get confused. Because it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Because right now their most different product isn't being watched, which is Doom Patrol. And
Because we don't get it over here. That's the worst thing about it.
Oh, we do. We just can't.
Yeah, but it's on Stars, and no one's going to buy Star Plays because it's like, oh, Star Plays. Even though it's got some great shows, it's got like it's got some great shows on that channel, and it's like
it's when it does its £2 a month deal, people watch it, and I have to say they do have the best DC show, which is Pennyworth.
Pennyworth is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
The best of all the DC shows out there.
I actually watched the first episode of season 2 yesterday, and I thought, oh my god, I completely forgot about this show.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant show, and it really gives Pennyworth the type of background that comic book writers have failed to sort of give him again and again, and it works so well.
And he sounds like Alfred. That's the good thing about
it. Yeah, he's a proper like London mod. It's like, all right, come on, let's sort this out. What we doing? But yeah, it's certainly nice to see if he can make a return. I think they've commissioned season 3, or season 4, that one.
I think it's the biggest thing on that channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from
they've got,
our
Doom Patrol as well is on there. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more stuff. All right, cool.
But Brendan Fraser's gone from that to something else now, isn't he? I think he signed up. I thought he signed up for Titans.
No, he's going to be the baddie in Batgirl. He's going to be Firefly.
Yeah, I knew he's something.
Yeah.
But he's going to be back in Doom Patrol because I think Doom Patrol is 10 episodes. Like the best thing about all these shows is they're 10 episodes. You do 10 episodes and it means you can go and do something else. Because they're filmed like movies, so they're filmed in 3-4 months, as opposed to doing 22 episodes and have to do most of the year. So a lot of these stars are able to be in multiple shows all the time, so that's really, really cool. Right, in terms of box office news, who would you imagine, right, 2 films going up against each other, right? Out of these 2, which one do you probably think would take the top of the box office? Okay, bear with me. Out of these 2 movies, right, here we go. Just kidding. Hold on. Right.
No suspense.
Come on,
no one watches the show. Come on. Bad enough getting them to listen to the podcast.
Well, yeah, what do you mean? They do. We've got lots of fans. We've got fans all across the world. Don't knock this show.
Every country does not count.
Right. The new disaster movie, Moonfall, right? The one where the moon's falling to the earth, right?
Is that the one with the chubby guy from Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Or Jackass Forever.
Jackass Forever.
Jackass.
That's
what I'd go and watch. That's what I'd go and watch. I'd go and watch Jackass.
And believe it or not, Jackass is not only taking it to the top of the box office, right? But do you want to guess by how many millions it's battering Moonfall?
12.
Just take a guess. You're going 12, Mike?
What?
How many millions do you reckon Jackass is making a Jackass out of Moonfall?
35.
Opening weekend.
It is beaten them by 13 million. It's Jackass's first weekend has brought in 23.5 million. Moonfall 10 million. And it's only beaten.
I bet you Jackass was cheap to make.
It's only beaten Spider-Man No Way Home, right, in the same week by 400,000.
Oh wow!
So Moonfall, it's Emmerich. I'm sorry, it's a film about the moon falling. What do you want, James?
Just look up, free on Netflix. What else do you need?
Yeah. What do you want, James? What do you want?
It's gonna be the same film. It's gonna be like Deep Impact and bloody Armageddon, isn't it? All over again.
Now, are you guys gonna go and watch Jackass? Or are you gonna wait on that one?
No, I'll watch that.
I think that'd be a TV movie. That one, yeah. Get drunk, have a couple of joints, and just watch Jackass.
A couple of joints of bacon, you know.
Yeah, bacon joints. Yeah,
I don't think it matters. I'm not
those
joking.
sausage links. We're in California; it's legal.
But no, just Jackass is important because it's a bit of a reboot. They're bringing in a lot of new stars in, and they're a lot.
Yeah, I
of the
see
old
Eric
cast are
Andre's in
returning.
it, isn't he?
Yes, he
I love
is.
him. I think he's great.
So yeah, I think there's a lot happening there, but it's absolutely taking the US box office like at a storm. So
Because everyone needs comedy. That's why.
well, no, I think Moonfall just like there's nothing. If you watch that trailer, there's nothing that makes you think I really want to see this film. You know,
But everyone wants to see Jackass. Jackass is just people getting hurt and that you laugh. That's what happens. It's one of those. It's like stupid TV. You watch it because it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just go and kick this guy in the balls. Okay. Ha ha.
All right. Now, we've got a few. Oh, Dakota Johnson. Now, Dakota Johnson is joining the Marvel Universe, but she's joining the Sony Marvel Universe as
The
Madam
Spun.
Web.
The Spun.
Fun.
Spun.
Now, apparently, there's
Sony Pictures Universe Network.
Yeah, the Sony Pictures Marvel Universe, which for some reason they keep it separate from the main Marvel stuff. I don't know how. I'm not. It'll be Madam Web. I think she's going to be Spider-Woman before she's like the comic book version of Madam Web.
I think what they're doing is they're saving.
Was Madam Web in her 40s?
No, because I think what they're doing is they're going to call her Madam Web and then save Spider-Woman for someone else like Gwen or something. And I think they're just going to use this version of the character to get the idea of the Spider-Verse into the real life thing.
Yeah,
that's what I think. No,
that'd be along the lines of how I've been seeing it, because it's quite a weird. Like, it's not the first time Sony's done something like this. You know, to take a slightly obscure Marvel character and start making a film.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, there's lots of Spider-Man characters you can do cool stuff with. So I think that's clever. I think because it means you can do cool stuff like Spider-Gwen and stuff.
But Marvel must be kicking themselves that they gave, like, not only did they give Sony the Spider-Man franchise, but they gave them one of their best comic book ideas they've had in years. And that was Spider-Verse in Spider-Man, the whole Spider-Verse storyline. And they must still be kicking themselves over because Sony are like, well, we were running out of ideas. You saw Spider-Man 3, and that's just rejuvenated the entire franchise, you know, in a way that, you know, X-Men failed.
I think that whole cartoon changed the Spider-Verse. Because it was a very, very good cartoon. And I don't watch a lot of cartoons. And I sat there.
I struggled to make
I was like, oh my God, this is like probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was great. Music was great.
Proper story, had proper music. Yeah. The graphics were good. It was
good version of Dr. Octopus as well.
Yeah.
I really liked that. What was her name? Octavia. Was it Octavia?
And it brought all the characters in, like properly.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
I still don't get the pig one, but hey.
Or Spider Ham.
Yeah.
It's a spider that became a pig.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really, really. They introduced Spider-Gwen, which is a massive thing. And I think people have underrated how big that actually is, comic book wise. Because I don't think the movie Gwen only dies in Amazing Spider-Man 2, doesn't she? And that character was so pivotal to the Spider-Man mythos that it's been quite interesting the way Sony were able to introduce Spider-Gwen. I'd quite like to see Miles. Everybody wants to see Miles, so I'm waiting for them to announce Miles Morales at some point in the next year or so. I can't see them not making him into the MCU or the Spider-Man films. Keeping him out of them for much longer. We've got a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse where he'll pop up again, but they've got to bring him into the MCU. I can't. It's been too long. They dropped the hints he was going to be in the first Spider-Man film because his uncle, who's the spoiler.
I think the comic book first got released during the first one, didn't it?
Yeah, I think they were playing the long game with him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they've got Tom Holland for a few more years, and then then they bring him in. That's what I think
That's
happens.
Can you imagine the screams in the cinema when Miles Morales appears?
Yeah,
And
crazy.
then he's Indian.
There is an Indian Spider-Man. It's called what is it? I can't remember his name actually, but there is actually an Indian Spider-Man who could make an appearance in the sequel of Into the Spider-Verse. But anyway, onwards and upwards. Now, do you want to take a guess at how many films Bruce Willis has released in the past year?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot, isn't it? 'Cause he's just releasing shit after shit, isn't he?
I didn't know he was releasing
Do you want
films.
to take it? Well, he's actually
Okay, I say 6. Because there's only so many months in a year that you can actually produce a film. They take about 8 to 10 weeks.
He's actually made 8 films.
Wow.
In the past year.
Is that just cameos or actual films?
I've watched at least 2 of these films, and they're not cameos. Well, they're not cameos in that fact that he's a part of the film. He's a key part of the movie. They're just really, really bad. And they keep Frank Grillo keeps appearing. You know the guy who was Crossbones in the MCU.
Oh yeah,
he keeps appearing in the same movies as well. I don't know what's happened to Bruce Willis. I do worry about Bruce Willis now.
I worry about.
I actually do worry about.
After watching Glass, I thought he should just retire.
Yeah. I think you should just give it up.
He was just too old for that, and it's like, mate, you're not an action hero no more. Unless you want to play a serious dad role.
I don't know if he's got gambling debts. I don't know if he's like
still paying Demi.
He owes somebody, still lost some money, or people literally don't want to work with him anymore because he's 8 movies, all of them are terrible. They're not. Have you guys watched any of the ones that came out last year?
No, none.
I don't even know what came out, Curtis. Please intrigue me.
What films that came out last year?
With him in it.
Oh God! Don't make me Google all of
them.
You
said there was 8. Come on, this is your story. I thought you had 8 films in front of you.
No, I don't want to be reminded of them. You got to understand. I grew up with Bruce Willis. You know what I mean? He was in Moonlighting. And then he went straight off.
Curtis, you're 2 years older than me. I grew up with him as well.
It's not a race. He was a hero. He was an absolute hero. So to see him sort of,
he was a hero. What? Okay, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, and Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me.
Well, no. Unbreakable. Armageddon.
Yeah, Unbreakable was good. I watched that the other day.
Armageddon. What, you didn't enjoy Armageddon?
I love Armageddon, but I didn't want to bring it up.
All right.
It's one of those secret Sunday films, isn't it?
I've got everything that. Oh my good God. He's literally right. So the last good film I saw him in was, let's see. I didn't see him in that, so that can't count. No.
Okay, this story's boring. Next.
Yeah, I'm bored of this.
Yeah. You haven't got your self settled to make this story happen.
I've got a list. I was just trying to look to see what was the last good one he was in.
You was not prepared.
It proves very hard because 2021 he did some classics like Cosmic Sin, Out of Death.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Never heard of that.
Live in the Game, Apex.
Yep, never again.
Deadlock, Fortress,
nope.
American Siege. No. I don't know. What can that hurt?
Are they all on Amazon to watch? For free?
No, it went straight to video, so I doubt any.
So they're all on Amazon to watch for free.
I think they're so bad. Amazon were like, "We'll pass. Thanks, Bruce." But in fact, I'm surprised Amazon haven't approached Bruce Willis and gone, "We'll pay you lots of money to make a decent film." Going because his name's still got a lot of pull. I don't know anybody that could put out that many straight to DVD films and still have a career.
Jackie Chan probably has done it.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage has definitely done it. There was one on Sky the other day called Pig, and he was a truffle hunter.
Oh, that's like John Wick, but it's a pig.
Yeah, he won
really?
awards for that.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite good.
I'm going to give it a go tomorrow. Then that'll be my Tuesday matinee.
That's on my list. I've been meaning to watch it.
Okay. I thought, it's just Truffle Hunter pig. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it gets stolen, and he has to find it.
And he has to find the pig. Oh, is that what it is? He goes with John Wick.
It's John Wick, but for a pig.
Okay, I'm going to watch it now.
All right. Okay. So,
Sorry, Nicolas Cage. But he still did that really bad film where he had no words.
What film was that?
Where he was in some arcade.
Oh my good God! You watched that?
Oh, I watched 10 minutes. I went, this
No,
is
I
shit.
watched the whole thing, but I was trying to anybody else who watched it. Do you remember? Do you ever heard of a game called Five Nights at Freddy?
Oh, is he smashing up all tellies?
He did something in Wonderland, and he plays a character who goes into a version of that. But obviously, they didn't have the rights to Five Nights at Freddy, so Nicolas Cage spends the night in there, and basically he's a threat. It's not the monsters who are going around killing teenagers. It's Nicolas Cage just destroying all the monsters viciously.
He has no words.
Yeah, he just drinks a lot, and that's it.
Something in Wonderland it's called, isn't it?
I enjoyed it.
Something in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Willy's Wonderland.
But Nicolas, yes. But yeah, Nicolas Cage is great in that. And Nicolas Cage also, I don't think, although he's done some crappy movies, I don't think he's gone to the level Bruce Willis has. He's just done some really self-indulgent projects. Like I think his next film is a film where he plays himself.
His next film's a vampire, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but there's another one where he literally plays himself.
He gets taken to an island for a fan who pays him lots of money, and he has to act out all of his films.
Yeah.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Right. Okay. What else is there? Emma Watson could be cast in a new Doctor Strange 2 film as Clea. I've seen a picture. There's not much else news from that. I know she's in the running to play Clea, but Clea's also known as Doctor Strange's wife. And I've been saying, me and Dave were having to talk about this. There's too much of an age gap there. But
it's not. 14 years is not a big age gap. Sorry, I don't think it's Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood. There's 80-year-old men with 25-year-olds. Come on.
It'll look weird on screen. Yeah. People still.
No, it's only because you still see her as Hermione.
How old is she? 35.
33. I don't know. Yeah.
People.
He's only in his 40s. That's fine.
People still think of her as a little schoolgirl, right? They still haven't got her out of that uniform. So I still think that's going to look weird on screen. But that's just my opinion. Right. Let's go to the reviews because there's some stories to do with the actual reviews we're going to do. First up, Boba Fett. It was episode 6, I believe.
7.
It was the last episode.
7.
No, next one 7.
I thought it was the last one.
No,
the next one.
7.
Okay.
We saw the last episode. Boba Fett again was some people say relegated. I just think put to the background until needed, as they told a little bit more of the Mandalorian and some of the most touching scenes again in a Star Wars film. I don't know as a Mando. Mando's vicious, right? But he also gets some of the most touching scenes in the Star Wars when he sort of like bonds with little Yoda. Or Grogu, as they call him. What did you guys think of the episode? I thought it was one of the best Star Wars episodes I've ever seen, to be quite honest.
I think it's gonna go to the Mandalorian side.
I think it was heartbreaking when his memories came back. When he was seeing everyone get murdered. Poor little Grogu. I felt for him then. Nice to see R2. Nice to see R2. And it was nice to see Ahsoka and Luke have screen time together. Yeah. Although when she was like, "Oh, you remind me of your father," I'm like, "What? Killing?"
Yeah, I did not go around killing everyone. That was Kylo.
And then I love Timmy for Elephant. Justified was one of my favorite TV shows ever. Yeah. And him just being the kick-ass marshal was perfect. I loved it. I hope he's not dead.
I like the Cad Bane.
He's a good character, but I'm not sure about the character design. It looks very CGI. It's too CGI.
Well, I said to Curtis when he went to go for his gun, His fingers were so foamy that they folded backwards. I thought that was hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, I hope Cobb Vanth isn't dead. I don't think he is. It looked like he took it to the shoulder or something. And I can't wait to see Boba Fett and Cad Bane get into it. I really can't. I think it's gonna be so. And I'm hoping we get everyone. I hope we get Bossk. I hope we get IG-11.
That'd be really, really cool.
And the guy with all the scars in his face. I can't remember him, but I just want to see the biggest bounty hunter showdown. This is what we have to have now. Do you know what I mean?
It's
literally
gonna pay off heavy, and hopefully they'll be able to do it. They haven't let us down so far. I can't remember. Can you remember any of the TV's finale shows? So, because what we had so far, we've had
we had Luke fighting the Dark Troopers at the end, and that was a big reveal. And then the one in the Mandalorian before that was the one when they were trapped in the bar, and IG-88 blew himself up, and he got the jetpack and blew up the TIE fighter like that. So yeah, I mean, we know it's going to be big. We know it's going to be the giant Wookiee fucking everyone up, which is just what we want.
I reckon Chewbacca's going to come in and fuck the Wookiee up.
You reckon Chewbacca's going to come in?
Yeah, I think he's going to come in and fuck the Wookiee off. Yeah, just like a Darth Vader 3 when there was a Wookiee off.
Well, I think I'm surprised. I think that Luke will allow Grogu to go off with Mando, because what everybody's forgotten is Grogu's still really young, so Grogu could stay with Mandalorian.
Is he though? He could be 100 years old.
Yeah, and Grogu
he's 50.
Would still be a little.
He's 50.
Yeah, he's 50. Yeah.
And Grogu could still be a little kid and still train. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he has to be any.
And Mando hates droids, and there's a space in his starfighter for a little person.
For a little Grogu.
There is, isn't there?
He's not going to take R2D2 in the back there, is he?
I reckon Luke's going to still let him take the lightsaber, but go off with Mando, and that'll still be all right.
Maybe he steals the lightsaber.
Yeah, because he could still go back and train at any point. Also, as I read someone before we came on live, he might find another order of Jedi to train with. But I think that there's no way that Grogu's going to stay with Luke.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. There's no.
Maybe that's why Luke became a recluse, because no one wanted to go near him.
No, I think that was purely Kylo Ren just.
Yeah.
But there was 7 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
When Kylo Ren destroyed them all.
I don't know. They never clearly state how many students there are. But one thing's very clear about what Kylo done. It's like after he killed everybody in the Jedi Temple, there should have been no redemption. Just like with Vader, I'm like, Vader literally whacked little kids. I'm like, that's it. There's no redemption. There should be no redemption for these characters for that level of murder. Like, nope, you killed too many people.
Vader just went 66 for everyone else. That's all.
I'm just like, nope, this is not good enough. But I thought this was the best episode so far. Yes, it was Boba Fett light, but I don't have a problem with that because it's a film. Do you know what I mean? Although it's a TV series, it's a film. And at this point in the film, that's cool. You don't have to have them, but it has to have a big payoff at the end. Not just for my sanity, but if I have to hear any more Star Wars fans moaning, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, but also, man, with The Mandalorian, we had no expectations.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
With this, we've got, 40 years of people telling stories about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're never going to live up to that. Facts of the matter. And that's the point. Do you know what I mean? So just enjoy it. Enjoy seeing it.
Then you do have that preview, what they showed at the convention of Boba Fett killing Cad Bane. So is that going to happen?
What?
I hope so.
What preview?
There was like a preview years ago at one of these Star Wars celebrations.
Oh no, that was no. They cut that scene from one of the
Clone
from
Wars.
one of the Rebels episodes.
Yeah.
Or was it Rebels? Yeah, it was Rebels, I think. And they cut it, and they are saying that's where Boba Fett got the dent in his helmet. And Cad Bane, and that's why Cad Bane has to have the like breathing thing,
oxygen mask
thing. Yeah,
that would have been a cool episode to watch. I think Cad Bane, I think he's great. I think he's a great character. I remember when he first appeared in Clone Wars, and he was pretty damn cool then. Because I think he fought.
Yeah, they animated it all up to that point, I think.
Yeah, he had a fight with
quite a few times.
the others, and I think his character works really, really well, especially in this sort of Western theme that they've got going on in Fett and Man.
Oh, love it, mate.
He works really, really well. I don't think the Marshal's dead. I think that's why they had the other guy there who served
that's why I saw.
Oh, yeah, because he literally done that one quick shot and then just blasted the crap out of the bloody deputy, didn't he?
Has served no purpose at all except to die.
And then they grabbed the Marshal as well. So you know he's not dead because the people come and grabbed him.
Yeah. I think the Marshal will be back for the showdown and they'll be like, yep, we're coming for you. But like Dave said, who else is going to be appearing? I don't think this is the end of the big show that show up. So
I think there's going to be a Wookiee. I got this funny feeling.
No, I don't think you'll see that and Chewie in there. But
I need a Chewie.
Look, if you do, I'll gladly give you £50.
It's either that or an Ewok.
Something's going to turn. Your
Wicked's going to turn up.
We're all forgetting about the Rancor. Do you reckon we're going to see him riding the Rancor?
You'll see him riding the Rancor, definitely. That'll be the show.
That's a Lego set right there, isn't it?
I put money on it happening. And also, they've got to have what's his name back in it? What's the name of the guy? The Rancor trainer.
Oh, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. Yeah.
Danny Trejo. They've got to have him back in that too, man. You cannot put Danny Trejo in Star Wars.
He's too many. He's making too many tacos, man.
You cannot have him in Star Wars and not do anything with him. Could you imagine him? It's a shame that you almost used him for that, because God, he'd make a fantastic Sith Lord. Yeah, he's just intimidating without a mask or anything. Just imagine him as a
just throwing laser swords at people like he did in Desperado.
The lightsaber with a force, huh? See, take him out now. But no, I think that was a really enjoyable episode. It was nice to see Ashoka again. The Luke wasn't played. It was played by somebody other than Mark Hamill this time round, because he didn't record anything for this one.
No, they used that technology, didn't they?
Yeah,
he's done audio books.
He's done audio voice for his past voice.
I think a guy called Graham Hamilton, he took on the role, so he did the motion capture, but Mark Hamill didn't even do the voice, so I thought that was quite strange they'd done that. But also I think it's going to set a terrible precedent, and you can see them doing it all the time.
He was credited it
now, huh?
He was on the credits.
Yeah, but I still think they should just Sebastian Stan, cast Sebastian Stan, job's done, right?
Yeah.
Get people used to the Stan, and then that's cool. Just roll on as you were.
We don't need Luke Skywalker no more. That's the trouble, though.
CGI is great, but too much.
I think we just need to make him a recluse.
Yeah,
just have him be a robed figure. In the distance, you must go to Luke Skywalker now, and it'd just be some bloke in a hoodie.
Yeah,
you know.
There's so many other characters to bring out.
Oh hell yes! I mean, what's his name?
Because the way it's all based, you ain't even got like Akbar or anyone yet. So it's
the blue admiral. What's his name?
Thorn.
He's going to be the big baddie over the next couple of years. I'm putting money on it now, and hopefully
he is.
He'll make an appearance at some point.
He's going to be in Ahsoka, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it should be in Ahsoka. I think they're going to announce another show because Rebels. I think what was it called? The
Rangers, wasn't it? Rangers of the New Republic.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to announce another show at some point.
I heard that they were going to do like the Hera show instead. It'd be about Hera from Rebels.
That would be really.
That'd be quite cool.
Yeah,
but then you'd have the big purple monster. Zeb, and it'd just be looking like Cad Bane. It'd be really bad CGI.
Yeah,
because he's like 20 foot tall, and it's like.
I mean, I don't know. There's no reason they can't do the Rangers thing with just like a different character.
Yeah,
So
they
is
need her.
Gina
Do they?
Carano.
I don't think it was that. I think they were planning on bringing in what's her name, old Xena, warrior princess, in to do it, but the whole fuss over it stopped it from happening.
That's a shame. Xena would be good. At least
But
Loris.
again, Star Wars fans.
But surely she's going to be too old to do that sort of stuff now.
Oh God, no.
Well, you're saying she was only? She must have been in her 30s doing Xena Warrior Princess.
I think I don't know if she was, but she's still holding it all together. She hasn't done a Kevin Sorbo. She's still got her game on. What else was right? So yeah, Boba Fett. I think that gets an all-rounders from us. I'm more than happy with that show. The next show. Oh God, we were running over. Right. Okay, gentlemen.
You ruined the plot.
Dave, this is the moment when we need to convince Mike if Reacher was a good
Preacher
show,
was another
right?
good show on Amazon, yeah.
Reacher was released this week on Amazon. They released all the episodes at one go, which I thought was quite
Yeah, I knocked it out in 2 days.
I thought was quite
I actually knocked out 6 episodes in the first day.
It took me a good at least 4 or 5 days to get through it. It's got Alan Ritchson as the lead character, who was also Hawk in Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why they blew him up in Titans. you ain't coming back. We don't care how Richard does. You ain't coming back. And he's the lead character, the titular character, and I watched it. I'll let Dave give his opinion first, because I've got lots to say about this. But Dave, what was your take? It had a pretty good cast on it.
Oh, do you know what? I actually
What
really
was your
enjoyed it
take on
because it was actually a lot closer to the book than Tom Cruise's film. It was so to the book, and that's what made it good. And they slag him off in the book being a beast, a giant, an ape, and they throw it in now and again during the series. I think it's really good. There's some good one-liners. And he's a badass. And like you said earlier, he is like watching the A-Team, but he's the A-Team because he's smart, he's wacky, he's good looking, and he's a beast.
So he's the A-Team in one person.
He is the A-Team all rolled into one.
Yeah, he very much is. So I enjoyed it. I thought the cast were really good, and some of them were familiar to me because I'd seen them in other stuff. So, for instance, Malcolm Goodwin, who was in that zombie show, I, Vampire, I think it was, where the one where the girl becomes a vampire, but she's also a forensic. I, Zombie, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that vampire. I, Zombie. And
that zombie show, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but my big
it's a
problem,
watchable cop show, and that's what you need.
My big problem with it is, like I said, he is like a one-man A-Team, and everybody in the show keeps emphasizing. We know he's a big lad. Okay, he's like bigger than any human you've seen on screen. People were moaned so much about the Tom Cruise ones. I was thinking, and people saying how close this was to the books. So
yeah, because Jack Reacher is a 6'5" brick shithouse.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise is 5'1" and skinny as fuck.
Well, no, look, when Tom Cruise works out, he bulks up and he bulks up quite nicely.
Yeah, but he can't bulk up like a big 6'5" CIA man.
He can't do the
Come
height.
on.
But
he can't do the height. He can't do the bulk.
I'll let a man talk. I don't think it was a bad show, but it's one of those shows you can tell who the bad guys are the moment the episode starts, right? You knew who the bad guys were. It wasn't too hard, right? They all came out.
But they weren't hiding the fact who the bad guys were.
Yeah, they all pretty much came out and declared we're bad guys. Who the fuck are you, right? It's got far too many tropes. Local police officers all corrupt. Honorable ex-military guy. He's like a monk, right? He knows everything, but he doesn't use any technology. He walks everywhere unless he can hitchhike or get a bus.
He doesn't walk everywhere. He
doesn't
steals
carry
the
any
Bentley
clothes.
and drives that everywhere.
He doesn't buy any clothes unless he's wearing them. Like, he doesn't have anything. I'm gonna go home and change, right?
Calls himself a hobo. Come on.
Yeah. But he's always got money on him.
No, because he found all the counterfeit cash. Come on.
It's not a bad show. It's really entertaining. It's funny. It's
like it, Mike. It's a good 7
funny.
hours.
I'll give it 2 episodes.
It's funny. It's clever. It's a bit more adult than your average episode of the A-Team, but he is a superhuman. He's a Superman that can't fly, and that's what
Go that far. He gets beaten up quite a lot.
He's Superman. I mean, the guy's so big, like his muscles, like his muscle on his arm is bigger than my head. He's not a small pushover.
Not that big.
But it's I just get the feeling, like I said to Dave earlier, it feels like it was written by somebody called Chad, because it's like the testosterone in this.
I liked it.
It's too much. It's like his conversations, right? They try and make him so man. He's the type of guy incels would love to be. So you don't have to say what you mean, but people understand you. Like, he doesn't say anything half the time. Are you like there's a woman he gets on with, and somebody else goes, "Oh, you like her, don't you?" He's given no sign that he likes this person, but this other person knows it, and too many conversations in it are like that, so they know what he's thinking and what he's about, especially when it comes to his emotions, and he doesn't need to say anything. But I'm just like, it's a great show. It's worth watching. Superb first season, but I think the second season especially, they need to pull it out of the hat, because this just gets away with it. Because I haven't seen a big. That's the first book.
That's the first book done.
Well, I haven't seen somebody as big as this guy on the screen. And like I said, he looks way bigger than he did in Titans.
Just wearing very tight tops.
Very tight.
Very tight tops. He pulls one out of the bin and he's like, "This doesn't fit."
But yeah, it's too many tropes in it. But I like I said, I did enjoy it greatly. The action's all right, although I think the action was better in the Tom Cruise one. And my other thing is,
that's probably because there was a budget of 200 million.
But also, for considering the bad guys knew so much about everybody in this series, why didn't anybody find out enough information about Reacher to know? Going after him with a couple of guns.
Because everything's classified.
Everything with a gun or a knife is a bad idea. Like, Reacher's no pushover, but these guys keep coming at him with sticks and shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, Reacher's the type of guy that can kill you with his thumb. And you think aiming badly at him is going to be a good idea. No, there was too much of that. And they seem to have an unbelievably large amount of South Americans willing to die. Like, at least 5 die per episode. So it's just like, I don't know. It's enjoyable, but I don't think it's going to last whatever 9 series it is in terms of books. But I think it's maybe got 3 seasons in it.
I reckon 3 or 4 seasons.
But yeah, I did enjoy it. He's a.
I think it's because there's nothing else on at the moment. You just watched it, and I actually enjoyed it. I read the first few books, so
he epitomizes that saying: "Men want to be him, women want to be with him," and that's basically what Reacher is. He's the archetype, like the perfect male, if you could find him, in every way. The way he talks, the way he does everything. There's no fear in him. He doesn't mix words, and it works. But whether or not it can last 9 series, I don't know. So yeah, altogether, enjoyed it. Not gonna lie, and I highly recommend it to you, Mike.
All right, I'll give it 2 episodes.
It's time for you to get out of town,
Mike. It's better than The Expanse, and you gave that 3.
You know what? One day you guys will actually give The Expanse the love it needs, and you'll realize what you missed out on, single-handedly the greatest sci-fi to ever grace the streaming services.
You know, people said that about Babylon 5 as well, right?
Huh?
People said that about Babylon 5.
Who?
Oh, you missed out on the best sci-fi of your whole life experience.
Right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the shows. Me and the boys will be back hopefully next week. for some more action as we take you through another journey, as we hunt down the best stories, the best adventures, and the best movies. This was, and this forever always shall be, The Boys.